Someone once said, EXO winter albums are my comfort albums, and I couldn't agree more. EXO winter albums are something else, I tell ya. Even non-K-pop listeners enjoy them. Although EXO's already well known for their vocals, something about hearing their ballads with a winter twist is just pure perfection. And unlike a lot of K-pop groups that often just release winter singles, EXO goes the extra mile by giving us full mini albums. Winter doesn't feel like winter without EXO the same way summer didn't feel like summer without Sistar. And you couldn't separate the two. But since it's been a while since EXO has released another winter album, I thought I'd do sort of an appreciation video as a way to cope. I've also just been a longtime fan of EXO. I think I mentioned this before, but they were one of the first groups that I got into. Actually, my first ever bias was Chen, and I bought this winter merch of him so long ago. Good times, good times. So without further ado, let's start with the first album that began this winter renaissance. Okay, so Miracles in December. I mean this in the best way possible. This album radiates sad boy energy. They sing about sadness in like the most artistic way possible. I think it was an album where we really felt the boys wearing their heart on their sleeves. Here's the track list. Most frequent listeners of EXO will recognize Miracles in December, an absolute classic. I also know that First Snow was quite a fan favorite. I personally really loved Christmas Day. Feels very much like your classic Christmas song. I listened to it on loop during the month of December. And that's one of the great things about winter albums. Although you can listen to them year round, it's almost a guarantee when it's that time of the year, you'll put it on to get you into that holiday spirit. My favorite song from the album though is probably My Turn to Cry. To me, it was very simple, very stripped down in its approach, which I really appreciated. And despite the sad tone, it has almost an uplifting energy about it. It's like listening to it makes you think everything is going to be okay, even if the world's like burning down in flames. Now, compared to Miracles in December, Sing For You is a much more upbeat album. Starting off with Unfair, which is a very playful song with an extra dose of serotonin, especially paired with the performance of the song. I love it so much. And although the song is meant for December, it gives me fall vibes for some reason. Very fresh, very fun, which I don't think we see a lot from EXO. They're more known for their R&B tracks, ballads, or songs with a heavy or prominent bass line. So it's nice to see them do a lighter concept. I mean, this was the same year Tender Love and First Love were released, so they definitely did do lighter concepts. I think I just wasn't as used to it. Then we have Sing For You, which has such a nostalgic sound to it, like remembering a time that never even happened. And I just can't get enough of the music video for this song, and I often just remember it at the most randomest of times and just go rewatch it. This was also the year they released Lightsaber, which was a collaboration with Star Wars. And this song feels like such a fever dream. I forgot this song even existed. I thought I just hallucinated the entire thing. But no, it's real. Also, I'm really surprised they added this to the Sing For You album instead of just leaving it as a single, because it doesn't really radiate winter energy, if you know what I mean. Also, this is a bit random, but I remember this was the year the show EXO Next Door came out. And when I tell you I was obsessed with this show when this came out, obsessed. And okay, so it's been a while since I watched it, but from what I remember, I really enjoyed it. And even though it was quite cheesy, I think it leaned enough into that aspect that it came off more cute and comical in the end. Overall, the show didn't take itself too seriously, and if you have time, I say go check it out. The first thing that comes to mind when I listen to this album is that every song felt so distinct from one another. And from here, I think they really started experimenting more with what songs they could include within their winter albums. Prime example is 24, which is a lot more rap heavy, and people have expressed that it doesn't really fit with the winter album. To me, it fits a lot better than Lightsaber, but And I'm glad they wanted to try something new, but I kind of had to agree. Even though there's parts of it I like, it really does feel out of place within the album. And I do have to admit though, if it comes up on my Spotify, it's probably going to skip for me. A little skipperuno. Maybe I need to listen to it a few more times. Maybe it's like a grower. Like it'll grow on me over time, but I don't imagine myself like listening to this willingly. Winter Heat is an absolute gem. I just wish they had live stages of them performing this song. I think that'd be really cool, but you know, it is what it is. What I Want for Christmas is more in line with your standard Christmas song, but that doesn't stop me from listening to it a million times over. For Life and Falling For You are definitely my favorites. I really enjoy Chen's lines in For Life, and Falling For You is very reminiscent of that super upbeat energy that I really enjoyed from listening to Unfair. Last but definitely not least, we have Universe. One word to describe this album is immaculate. Not just the songs, but also the theme of the album as well. Gave off very warm and comfy vibes. Where do I even start? We'll just go down the track list. Universe really was a great way to demonstrate EXO's vocals. Even though I would classify the song as a ballad, it doesn't really feel like your typical ballad. The song just really sucks you in. Been Through is an absolute bop. It has a very chill beat, but the way the vocals are arranged and the transition from chorus to verses is so seamless. What? Am I doing a tongue twister? So seemingly seamless. It's very seamless. There you go. Nailed it. With Stay, I'm already biased to the song because I think any song that starts off with Chen is going to be an absolute banger. That's probably why I was obsessed with Heaven, because it also began with Chen. But love the song. The vocals are almost haunting in a way. Like they're very soft and subtle, but still very powerful, very powerful within the song's dynamics. Fall is another masterpiece. I absolutely adore the progression of the song and the way they sang fall, like the actual word. It was definitely not what I was expecting going into it. Hearing Dio and Chen's harmonization feels like just the cherry on top. For me, Good Night really pulls at the heartstrings. It makes me reminiscent of how I felt during the Miracles of December album. Finally, we have Lights Out. I have to mention the vocals on this song. Chen, Suho, Baekhyun, and Dio are the only members on this song, and I was just blown away by both the vocals and also the lyrics. And Chen was the one to actually write the lyrics in only 2 days, which is insane, crazy, what? I think this was the perfect song to wrap up the album. Part of my New Year's resolutions for this year is getting better at promoting myself. So I wanted to come and say I do in fact have a Patreon, and I'm trying something new where I upload sort of an editor's cut of my videos where I include stuff that I either had to exclude or change from my normal uploads. So rather than having to tippy-toe around copyright or having certain edits or renditions of my videos fall by the wayside, I decided to put them up on Patreon for those who want to support my channel and want to see an extra dose of content. But of course, don't ever feel obligated to do so. If you want to watch me solely on YouTube, that's okie dokie too. Now back to whatever I was saying before. Let me know what songs are your favorites within the winter albums, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, guys. I'm Thorn, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.